Hello, welcome to the Drum Cave here at the Music Village. I'm Chris, the drum teacher, and I want to teach you the single stroke roll. The very first rudiment on the rudiment chart, which is some of the basic stuff every drummer needs to know, and this is the very first thing, the single stroke roll. Simply put, it's one hand followed by the other hand. Right, left, right, left, right, left, or left, right, left, right, left, right. However you start it, however you play it, one hand follows the other hand, nice and even, right? We don't want a horse clip-clopping, nice and even, the single stroke roll. And it's what we can use as a drum fill. Right, we've all heard drummers do that. That's a drum fill, and that's the single stroke roll. So to get started, we want to know how to hold the drumstick. So we want to pinch our drumstick between our thumb and our finger, right? And make what we call a fulcrum. It's a pivot point. We're going to wrap these other fingers around the back of the stick. Now we're not going to wrap them so tight that we're holding the stick with them. They're just real light. As a matter of fact, if we loosen up the pinch fingers, the stick should fall out of our hand, because we want to use those fingers to control the back of the stick, because we want the stick to bounce up. When we throw it down at the drum, we want it to bounce back up at us. It's kind of like bouncing a ball, right? We're not pressing into the drum, digging into the drum. You're going to cause a lot of strain, a lot of tension. You want to be nice and relaxed. And again, it's like bouncing a ball. So, now, this thing I'm using here, this is called a practice pad. And if you don't have a drum set, you might want to pick up one of these. They start around $15, go up from there. A pair of drumsticks is about $10. And really, that's all you need. You can put this on a table or whatever you can set it on, and you can use it to practice on. You don't need a drum set. For your feet, just tap them on the floor. Again, you don't need the drums, you don't need the hi-hat. This is a hi-hat. It's a cymbal that's operated with a foot pedal, and it goes up and down when we press our foot. So, to practice this single stroke roll, we're going to play 16th notes. Now, 16th notes, 16 in a measure. There's 4 quarter notes in the measure, right? We've all heard somebody count in a band. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the band comes in. And it's 4, and then it goes back to 1. And that's because most of the songs we listen to are in 4/4 time. Now, there are a bunch of different time signatures, 5/4, 7/8, 3/4, 2/4, but 4/4 is the most common. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, we just keep starting over. And those are our quarter notes, right? Now, we can keep dividing those quarter notes up, right? We can divide them in half, make eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We can divide those eighth notes in half again, make 16th notes. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. Now, you notice I held the drumstick a little different right there. That was traditional grip, and that's what a lot of snare drum players use when you're just playing snare drum in a marching band. If you go see the Fighting Irish Band, chances are the snare drum line, those guys are going to be playing, and gals are going to be playing traditional grip. But match grip, both sticks the same, is a much more common way to do it. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. Now you may be thinking I was counting really weird there. 1 and a 2 and I was throwing in an ampersand and letters, and I wasn't counting to 16. What's going on? Well, especially us drummers, but all musicians, we need to know where the 1 is, where the measure starts. It's very important for us. So instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which starts getting difficult, we count 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and So we still have 16, but we always know where the 1, 2, 3, 4 quarter note is at. Likewise with those eighth notes, I was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? And in between every one gave us 8. So that's what's going on there. So we always know where the 1, 2, 3, 4 is at. It's very important when we start playing music with a band to know where that 1, 2, 3, 4 is. That 2 and 4, that's where we really want to clap our hands when we're listening to a song, or where we want to snap our fingers. It's also where we as drummers hit that snare drum. So, and we need to do that while playing with our feet as drummers. So we're going to practice that while we practice the single stroke roll. We're going to practice using our feet too, in this way. Actually, let me get this back up here so you can still hear me. We're going to play 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and So 1 and 3 on our bass drum, 2 and 4 on our hi-hat with our foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just kind of walking or marching. 1. Let's take it nice and slow. Slow it way down. The biggest mistake new drummers make is wanting to play too fast. So don't be afraid to play nice and slow. Even slower than that. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and gradually increase your tempo. Now, if you've got a smartphone or a tablet, you can get on your favorite Play Store, whatever, Google, Samsung, Apple iStore, whatever. You can download Metronome app. There's plenty of free ones out there. There's plenty of ones that are just a couple bucks, whatever. I like Tempo Perfect, Soundbrenner's another good one. You can set that and it'll give you a click on a nice even space. And if you practice along to that with some headphones, you'll really get good time, which of course is what we're after as drummers. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and So practice slow, slowly building up the speed. And if you did that for just a few minutes a day, in no time at all, you'll be playing it just fine, and you won't even have to think about it. You won't even have to count 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and you won't even have to count that to yourself anymore. So practice it nice and slow. If you have a drum set and you start getting comfortable with it, start moving it from the drums. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and move it around the drums to the different drums. Move it from this drum to this drum on down the line. Right? Make a drum fill out of it. So, real quick before we go, I want to talk about the flam. And it's real quick because a flam simply means both sticks hitting at the same time, or close to the same time. Let's not get too nitpicky right now. We have a rudimental flam that's on that rudiment chart that I mentioned. And you see they don't quite hit at exactly the same time, and it sounds like flam. One hand starts up here, one hand down here, and then you switch. That's the rudimental flam. The flam we're going to be most concerned with, because this is Girls Rock Camp, is both sticks hitting at the same time. And beyond that, they're hitting at the same time between these two, between the hi-hat and the snare. Not both on the snare, but on the hi-hat and the snare. So, not a whole lot that needs practicing there, but certainly you can spend a little time just making sure that you're not getting 2 hits like that you're getting a nice two hits landing together. And you're gonna need that when you watch the next video, where we're going to explain the 1-3-2-4 beat, the most standard drum beat there is. After you get that and this, man, you're ready to start playing a song. So, Girls Rock Michiana, keep rocking Michiana. Tune in for my next video, the 1-3-2-4 beat.